welcome to Honest Car Reviews. My name is Eric, and this week I have the keys to the new Toyota CHR Hybrid. And it is updated or refreshed or whatever you want to call it. And the most important part of this update is what's underneath. And that is the new 2.0 liter hybrid engine found in the new Toyota Corolla. 183 horsepower, and the petrol engine is powering with a generator, the battery, which sits here underneath the rear seats. So it sits underneath here. So it means that it is not a mild hybrid, it is not a chargeable hybrid, it is something in between. It's an electric hybrid or e-hybrid. So is it a good, or will it be the new benchmark for the crossover hybrid segment? That is what I'm going to find out today. And we can start with the exterior. Some people hate it, some people love it. As you can see, it is a really special color. It is come only with the launch edition, which is the top of the line edition, which means that you have black alloy rims, which are 18, maybe 19, I think it's 18. And you have the two-tone. So you have this part here is black. And you have no exhaust, which you can see here, only fake. Yeah, maybe you can see the exhaust is underneath them. You can't really see it. And you have a really big chunky part here which just extracts from the body, so to speak. You can see it just extracts. So as I said before, it is the exterior is what splits people, but I think that it looks okay. In person it looks much better. It is something special because you have really big front and rear lights, and a lot of curves and shapes, and I mean angles upon angles. And I mean this part here, it is a special looking car, which they succeed. They have done their homework. It is interesting, the design. I mean, this crevice here, this begins here and continues all the way back. It is certainly unique, but I do like it. And you have the rear spoiler with slots in it that push the air downwards. So you very seldom get any dirt here, unless it's raining, of course, or snowing, which is have been doing here in Sweden. Here is the rear luggage, and it is okay. You have the rear fenders are pretty far out, which means that they don't take so much space inward, so to speak, and you can always pull the rear seats forward, and you can put this cover away so you can stuff more things up. However, you have the limitation because of the inclining back part. The limitations in what you can get is this height, because then you have this goes down. So in reality you can't fit anything that is higher up than this cover. So it's mostly inwards where you can stow things. And you can see how easy or difficult this is to put on, like that, and then you just hook it up, and then we're done. That's how it sits. You can see you have a really big panel here with the opener here. So you have a lot of metal here and you have a lot of plastic, which means that if people are sitting back here, which I'm doing, you can't see out very well because most is covered by plastic. And especially when you're driving, you have a lot of area where you can't see other cars. However, one thing that's really neat is that you have a cup holder really neatly placed for your hand. So that was a nice design feature, just a feature. And I got a lot of headroom, and I'm 187, so most of people will sit comfortably here. I mean, there's always limitations, of course. And because it's pretty flat here, it is easy to get in and out of. So yeah. Let's go to the driver's seat. The driver's seat looks heavily bolstered, but actually it's not. We have the same design as the seat. However, if you hear one of the most plastic sounding interior panels of the car. The key fob, only 2 buttons, the rest are nothing. It looks pretty outdated, I have to say. The seats are comfortable, and one thing I might notice is you have inserts in the roof. So pretty interesting. I don't know if they're there for design. I think they're mostly for design. But you start the car and you hear nothing because now the electric engine is on and the petrol engine has not started yet. It's not a standard automatic gearbox with like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but it's a CVT gearbox, so it's variable. The gear selection is variable, which means that the engine will always try to be in the optimum efficiency or high rev, so to speak. So it might be a bit monotonous, the sound from the engine. But you can see it's S3 or S. I don't really understand the concept of this, and I don't think the general person will do. Maybe it's how fast it will be. I mean, the setting. I mean, S1 is sportiest. I don't know. Sometimes I try to go down to S2 and S1, and it feels like it's trying to feel like a standard gearbox, so to speak. So S1 is like the lowest, and then S2, S3, and you go up in gear, so to speak. But drive is where the majority of people will drive. So the interior, very flowy, very organic look, which is very common for Asian car manufacturers. And you have the mounted infotainment system, which when I grabbed it to press like the different menu and audio and map and everything, but you can also, of course, it is touch. So go home. When I pressed this and I did a bit of dragging, not much, you could just feel, I mean, panels are flexing, the whole mounting is flexing. I mean, it didn't feel as good quality as I would like. However, one thing that's really good quality is the buttons, just the feel of the buttons. Someone at Toyota has spent so much time to make that button feel nice. I mean, wow. I mean, I'm really impressed. Just this array of buttons feels so nice to touch. And you have buttons underneath to take calls, end calls. This is for the lane departure. This is for cruise control, and the entire cruise control controller is here. It's the third stock. So you push it in to activate it, and then down to set the speed, up to reset which speed you were before. And you hold it up to increase the speed by 5 increments, or decrease by 5 increments, or just push 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and you push 4 times 5, that's 20 kilometers an hour. That will be increasing, and it feels very linear when it increases. It's not like 5 and then 5 and you can really feel it jolt. It's really linear, so that's impressive. Just a quick thing about the infotainment system. I have some problems, especially with the navigation. Yesterday, when I tried to set destination, it didn't want to register it. One other time when I was set a destination, it stopped working completely. So it has had some problems, which were quite severe actually. Hasn't been the best experience. In the city, for the most part, up to 50% is actually in electric power only. So that's really impressive. But you have analog gauge clusters, really standard ones. The left side here is not revs, it is the power contra echo, and then this is the recharge. So if you're braking, then it's going to go back to the blue part. But it says ready, and I'm ready, and I hope that you are ready if you're watching. So we'll head off. What's nice is the boost from the electric engine. It helps with the torque and makes the car peppier. And the car has a 0 to 100 km/h rate of just above 8 seconds, which is really quite impressive. The car is a bit heavier though. It's around almost 2 tons. And 2 tons is a bit on the heavier side, but it doesn't feel like 2 tons. The car actually hides its weight really well. And it corners quite flat. Even though it's not a performance car, some updates have been to the suspension to make it more responsive and not stiffer, because it's not uncomfortable, but just being able to handle some more dynamic driving with the 2.0 liter engine, which we have now, but it costs around 34,000 euros. See, the Toyota was one of the first car manufacturers to make a hybrid in this segment. Not a lot of car manufacturers has done it, but they are following suit because it's an emerging market, especially for consumers, to get cars that are easy towards your wallet, but still a very well put together car. And I have to say that Toyota has really make an impression of me on how they can put together cars. There's so little things that I can find faults of, and most of the things are actually to the interior. The seats are comfortable, but I would like some more lumbar support. And I mean, the GPS had some problems, but other than that, there's nothing just majorly bad about the car. The Toyota CHR. It is not a crossover. It is something in between a crossover and a regular sedan. The 2.0 liter engine is good, but when you think about bang for your buck, I would go for the 1.8 liter. It uses less gas, and for this car you don't need more horsepower. But when you think about a car that's daily use, daily driver, go for the 1.8. The car looks good, especially in the two-tone. It is comfortable inside. There were some electronical problems, which was a bit off-putting, but the space in the rear really says something about how effective Toyota has used all of the dimensions of the car, so to speak. And especially the rear trunk was surprisingly big. The Toyota CHR, the new benchmark for the upcoming hybrid crossover segment.